What's up, guys? Yeah, not really much to say. This is just a video of the chest and shoulders workout I did last night. For some background information, I went in this workout like somewhat after a long day. I woke up at 4 a.m. yesterday to go kayaking down the Salt River. It was really cool, but I did that. Then I went to Portillo's, which is this good burger place. Freaking said burger. I don't know. I don't eat burgers. I don't eat boogers. Damn it. Anyways, I did that. And I had a huge burger and fries and like a milkshake. So basically an off-plan meal. I'm on a cut right now. And usually I do a high carb day once a week. Yesterday I just did the off-plan meal instead of the high carb day. So I did that, went home and slept, and then woke up and trained late at night. A lot of fun. Basically, this is like the workout I've been doing the last like 4-ish months, I would say. I've been on this like same program structure for about a year actually. But ever since my show ended, I did like switch up some of the exercises. But what I did basically is I started out with a machine chest press. I did one straight set, then I did another set with an intensifier. I did a rest pause, and then I did dumbbell incline. Usually I do 2 sets, but I did 3 sets this time, and I actually moved up in weight. And you guys will see how that went. You'll see. But then I just like mess around. I did barbell bench, which I also haven't done like in about 2 years seriously, because like I used to do a lot when I was powerlifting. I would do it like once or twice a week, but ever since I started like doing more bodybuilding, I've like focused more on dumbbells instead of barbell. And I've only barbell benched like a handful of times the last few years, and it was only just like with the empty bar, really lightweight, just like show people how to do it or whatever. But I did that, and then after that, I believe I did some side lateral raises, and then I went to I did some hammer strength machine, like overhead press. They did one all-out set of that, which is really fun. Love that machine. And then I did a straight set with cable flies, but I did a 50% drop set of that, basically called a Ceph set. I'll get in that in the actual video. And then I finished off with some rear delt flies. I did rest pause sets. And most of this workout was pretty lower volume, but like higher intensity, which is usually how I train. Other than like my arms and like some, I guess in some exercises I do like 3 sets, but arms I usually do like 4 sets. But for like most of my like major lifts, I do only like 1 to 3 sets, and usually it's like 1 or 2 sets. I only did 3 on dumbbell incline today because I just went heavier and I wanted to hit some lighter weights too. But so I basically did this workout. It was a lot of fun. Not really much else to say. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. So to start out this workout, I started out with the Convergent chest press machine. Now, there's a few reasons why I really like this machine. One, I would just say that it feels really good on my shoulder. I know with a lot of chest press machines, they can feel weird on my upper shoulder, but when I do this, it's kind of lower, and it's good for that. 2, it's unilateral. Each arm is individually. If you guys can't tell, it's plate loaded, so it's basically like a unilateral one on each side for each side of my body. And I like that because if you guys don't know, I have a torn left pec. There's later a dent that you can see when I'm leaner, but it kind of forces me to not allow the muscular imbalance to like cause me to bias my right side. I actually train both sides individually. And 3, I just get a sit contraction. But as you guys can see, I'm doing roughly like a 3-second eccentric, trying to pause at the bottom slightly, squeezing hard at the top. It's really easy with this machine, but I was able to hit 175 for 15 reps, which is a 3-rep improvement from last week, which is awesome considering I'm in a cut. And just see that chest strength is still moving up. But I did my first set right here, and then it was time to move on to the second set. So for my back off set, I did basically the same weight again. I did like 175. So usually I actually go a bit lighter on my back off sets than my top sets, but for this one, because I got my top end of the rep range on my first set, I decided to just use the same weight. I ended up getting 12 in my first attempt, and yeah, same kind of thing. Controlled eccentrics, slight pause at the bottom, and really focus on squeezing. With this part, I kind of like to visualize the fibers moving and contracting throughout my chest as I'm doing the movement, and especially contracting hard and almost feeling it at the bottom of my chest, like at the top end of the lift. One thing like I'll notice with this kind of machine or any good chest press machine that I get like a similar contraction is I can literally feel like the air around my nipples burning, like full of lactic acid because I'm pushing through. But I went to failure. I rested about like 15, 20 seconds, and I did my next attempts. So basically, rest pause sets are an advanced training concept you can do to go past failure. Basically, the idea behind a rest pause set is you go to failure, rest a bit, go to failure again, and then like you can repeat this however many times you want. With this, I did 3 attempts. So for the second set, you can see the first rep was a struggle to get up, but I got 1, 2, and then I believe I got I think I got 5 at the end. Yeah, 3, 4, and then, yep. Wait, or I get 6. Yeah. Wow, I bitched out of it. I could have got another one. See, it's funny, like, whenever I watch videos, the reps always look easier than they actually feel. That's one thing I've really noticed about training. But same kind of thing. Rest of it, I did my last attempt. So one benefit to starting out with a machine rather than it going to heavy compounds, it warms your muscle up before you actually train with a heavy compound. It's kind of an advanced concept for bodybuilding. Lowers risk of injury and allows you to feel the muscle better during a heavy free weight compound. So I did 3 reps and wow. I need to go hard next time. That's one thing I learned. Oh, I got 4. Okay, cool. Still need to go hard next time. So now we're moving on to some incline dumbbell bench. So usually I've been hitting like the 70s for my top set. The last few weeks I've been like doing the last 5-ish weeks. I've been trying to progress in the 8 to 12 range with the 70s. So I started with 8 reps, worked my way up to 12, and then I increased the weight. But I've been stuck at 11 reps for 2 weeks in a row. Just because I'm cutting, the progress has been kind of slow. It's been like a progression every 2 weeks. Honestly, I should have just stuck with doing the 70s for 11 this time. But I figured honestly, I might get more out of going a little heavier this time. I was feeling kind of strong, so I decided to do the 70s for my 75s for my first set. I have hit this weight before, but usually like the way I train now versus like a year ago even was like I trained with much more control in my reps and like trying to pause slightly at the bottom and actually going all the way down. It is something that does get harder, especially on a cut as like the weights start to feel heavier, but it's just important to just keep that intensity there. So as you guys see, I'm getting in the zone and you'll guys see how the set went. So route up, get my dumbbells up, all pissed off, and okay, get up, and first rep, kind of smooth. Ooh. Moving good, but I'm not going down far enough. By a lot of people's standards, it would be good enough, but honestly, I'm trying to aim for full range of motion, so I got it for like 6. Honestly, could have probably muscled out another rep, but it was my first time going this much heavier. I think next time I'm honestly going to try it again, but get better full range of motion. So I decided I was kind of pissed at how that went just because I went down far enough, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to do the 70s. So I actually was going down. Yeah, I mean, I could have gone down a bit further, but I was actually going down to about my chest. Had better control. Slightly pausing on some of the reps. It's harder when you're cutting to make progress too, but I'm still keeping the weights heavy. I ended up getting actually, you'll guys see, yep, one right there. And then another. And I was like, one more, let's go. 10, there you go. So I got 10. So yeah, honestly, for being like weaker on a cut, that wasn't that bad. So back offset was the 60s. So this is usually what I do. I was stuck at 12 reps, and I managed to actually get 13. I'm not going to give a spoiler, but I have better range of motion and more control in pausing than my previous sets and then last week. But overall, guys, like I'm still doing, like even though like I did like degress by 1 rep from last week on my 70s, I'm not pissed about it because I hit the heavier set before that. And also on top of that, it's more than I was doing at the beginning of this cut. So I still may have made progress on the cut so far. So next time I'm just going to aim to get 11, and just move up from there. But oh yeah. I don't think it's this rep. Oh, yep. Last rep. Left side, struggling to get up, but I got it. And then I dropped the dumbbell swag and Larry did a backflip. Look at that. So moving on to my barbell bench. Like I said, I usually don't do this, and I wasn't even going to take this failure. I just want to kind of get an idea of where I'm capable of doing, like where I'm at right now. I ended up just throwing the plate on there after doing a couple warm sets and just seeing what I could kind of do with like a pretty simple set. I might bench in a few weeks with my friends. I just want to get an idea of like what I can do right now. So it's funny seeing me do my old powerlifting hacks. So control down, I'm just moving like it's nothing. It's a joke. Feels a little awkward, slightly unstable at the bottom. I'm getting used to it though, right? One thing I like about bench is easier than getting a heavy dumbbell. That is one thing. But I end up getting up 10 reps. Honestly, I could have gotten more. I probably could have gotten 20 plus, but I didn't have a spotter, so I was like, I'm just going to play it safe. Okay, so now moving on to side lateral raises. So usually what I do for these is I go for a rest pause set of 20 reps, a rest pause set with 3 attempts. And once I get more than 20 reps on my first attempt, I'll move up in weight. So right now I'm at the 40s. I got around like 17 really clean ones and 2 extra ones that weren't quite as good. But what I try to aim for on these is going all the way down and then like visualizing my shoulder fibers firing up and going back up to the top and trying to somewhat control it down to the bottom. Now, obviously, nothing's going to be perfect with this, but I try not to use too much momentum and try to keep it like relatively clean. It does eventually get hard at the end, as you guys can see. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but like it's weird. My right side of my body doesn't go up as high, which is weird because always my left side that gives out first, but I'm doing some kind of presses. I actually think that my left shoulder is probably a bit stronger. Another thing, too, is my left shoulder is more strided than my right side. I don't know if it's just like a genetic muscular imbalance, but it could be because my left shoulder is more developed than my right one because my left pec is torn. So just something I've always wondered. But yeah, so as you guys see, I'm bringing the intensity, doing this, trying to still get relatively clean reps. I believe I got like 9 for this attempt. Yeah. Not gonna lie to you guys, I look a little watery in this clip because I had that cheat meal, didn't get the best of sleep, so I'm like a few pounds over my usual weight. When you're cutting and like you're a few pounds heavier because of water retention, it can make a pretty big difference in how you look. But yeah, pretty glad with how this cut's going so far. I'm just wandering around in between my rest pause sets, getting ready to go and just getting myself right in the zone, which is what I do. Always bring the intensity, making my pissed off faces and back to it. So again, getting those up and just wanted to finish strong. I believe I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like one more. Oh, no, I got 6. Nice. Yeah, I always keep a workout 7. Damn. I always keep a workout log. 8. Shoot. I keep a workout log doing what I do. I decided, honestly, just to do a really light set just to get a really good contraction. Honestly, I get a good results in a mix of heavier and really light raises, but it can be fun just to burn out on light raises after. I only did 15s for this, which is super, super light for me. It's what most people do, but yeah, this is what I did, and just got a really good burnout contraction before it was time to move on to the heavy compound for shoulders. So after those lateral raises, I decided to move on to my heavy overhead pressing movement, which the one I've been doing for the last like 4 or 5 weeks or so has been this hammer strength machine, which I really like. It's a great contraction, just feels really good on the shoulder, and it's cool because every single week I've moved up around 10 pounds and have been hitting around like 15 reps. There was one week I got like 16, but it's been like about 15 reps, slow and steady. My target rep range is actually around like, it's either 8 or 10 to 12 reps. So I've been exceeding that every week. So like, I'm excited. I haven't even really hit like the point where progress slows down yet. So I'm pretty happy. Progress just going well in this despite being a cut. Like I'm excited to only have to cut for 2 more weeks and then like introduce calories back in and just see a rapid blow up in gains. That'll be fun. But yeah, as you guys see, I'm pushing hard. Doing a controlled eccentric and pausing at the bottom. Slightly resting at the bottom because they basically forced me not to cheat and I'm going up, grinding it out, and I failed there. I got 15 reps, which I'm happy about. So now I'm doing some cable flies. So the way I do them is I really try to get a stretch like far out at the top of the lift, and then like I get a good contraction, bringing my biceps together. I try to visualize my chest striations popping out as I really get the hard contraction at the top. And so here, I believe I did around 11 or 12 reps, and I did that for my first set. Then what I did after is I do this thing called a Seth set. So the way a Seth set basically works is it's actually just a 50% drop set. What you do is you aim for double the amount of reps that you got on your first like attempt with your heavy weight. The reason why it's called this is because this bodybuilder I watched named Seth Feroce came up with the name on his own. So he calls it Seth sets. And it's actually a really good way to get a pump in. The only problem is the reps are so high, so you just have to really do like immediately right after you finish, or else you don't really get like the best like you don't get the best like pump if like you don't do it right after because the weight's just so light. But if you do it sometimes on some exercises, it can be horribly brutal. Honestly, with cable flies, I find it a little too easy. And what I did with chest pressing was a lot harder, so I actually might consider doing that. But yeah, basically reducing the weight to about 50% before I go right into it. And yep, here we go. Just unracking those handles, and now I'm going into it. So yeah, so honestly with flies, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I think the mistake a lot of people make with flies, they make more like a pressing movement rather than actual flies. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing a chest press with cables, but the purpose of flies is to get a stretch on the pec, then get a good contraction, to get the most natural contraction. Honestly, looking at this video, I maybe should have my humerus, which is basically the top part of the arm, up a little higher to get even better of a stretch. It just can be a little difficult, though, because, like, it doesn't always feel the best in my pec just because, like, you know, my right pec has had issues, like, with overcompensating for my left pec that's torn. And always with this movement, I feel my bicep, like, getting a little bit involved. My left bicep, just because that pec is torn, you know? So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going through the reps, grind it out, and I just kept going. Just really just trying to pump as much blood as I could in the chest because I've pretty much done all my heavy compounds. It's just really time to just break it down and get a good pump. So, as you guys see, I'm like hitting the last rep, and then I did some chest press after. So, lightweight, not really going to do shit, to be honest, but it's just fun to get a good pump. So I'm doing that, just going hard at it, and then eventually, once I kind of get a good enough of a pump, I'm like, okay, that's good, and then I just rack it. So to end this workout off, I did some basically rear delt flies. So I did about 18, maybe 19-ish reps. As you guys see, I'm trying to go all the way up, really just trying to get a good contraction of rear delt. So I always tell this with like clients I'm training or just people in general when it comes to rear delt training is do whatever gets you the best contraction. If like a machine works well for you, doing your chest support works well, or just bent over does, then do that, you know. I personally like holding them out like that. I just get the best contraction for some reason. Like kind of flare my elbows out at the top, like overextending my arms a bit, but doing that. And then, yeah, that's really works very well for me. So I did like 18 or 19 straight reps, and then I did a rest pause set. Again, usually that's what I do. For a while, I did them with my chest supported, but I just honestly like do them like bent over like this because I don't have to worry about like trying to get a bench. It's always a fight for that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. It's easier. But yeah, so it actually worked out pretty well this time. Looking back, I bitched out again. I got to go harder, man. I just realized now as I watch these videos, you know, like I said, the weights always feel harder than they actually are in the video. But then you watch the videos and you're like, damn, I could have gotten more, you know? That was one idea in my prep that I really honestly kind of missed. Is like I knew I was at a risk of losing muscle, and I was like trying to come in as good as I could for the show. So I had this mindset. I was like, I'm gonna train no matter how much pain I'm in, and I got stronger throughout my prep. So I just need to go back to that mindset. But yeah, so I did this, and I waited a little longer this time, I think, and then in my last one. But yeah, I usually do rear delts. I do rear delts at the end of my chest and shoulders day. Just so I don't have to do more work on my pull day. I already do a ton on my back and arms day, so just gets this volume out of the way. But yeah, so again, just hit a few more reps, and then I think I just did like this one, and then I did like one more, I think. No, I got 5. Yep. And I decided to do another set just because I forgot to do partial at the end, which really good at burns. I just got a few reps of the heavier weight, and then like after that, did some partials. As you can see, just really gets the rear delts all pumped full of blood. And then I went and grabbed some leg dumbbells. I did some 15s. At this point, I wasn't really counting. I was just trying to get a good pump. I mean, I think, you know, making actually measurable like, training progress is important, but also just like really feeling good and getting a good pump. So did this, and then I ended my workout, guys. But yeah, just kind of a good quick voiceover video. I'm actually planning on doing some vlogs soon where I go more in depth in my training, just show more training videos in like my actual like clips, like my actual videos, just showing like what I do for training and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, take something from this, share someone. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.